Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York. My name is Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, and I would like to be the first to welcome you to tonight's contest between the visiting East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans and the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. This should be a fun one. The Red Rams have a record of 9-5. The Spartans hoping to snap a 5-game losing streak tonight, but it will not be an easy proposition for them. The anthem and starting lineups are already out of the way, and we are all set for tip-off. And it is ESM who gets the ball first, courtesy of number 15, Isabel Chavusti, who stands at 6'1" and will be a force to be reckoned with all night. And immediately a jump ball called on the tussle on the hardwood. So the Red Rams get the ball back quickly. And that is Ava Sandroni hanging out beyond the arc. Victoria Payne drives in, two people in the lane. And ESM gets the rebound. That's Angelina Polcaro. Across the way, now Maura Leib. Back to Polcaro. Trying on the wing. And the pass is tipped and taken away by the Red Rams. Macy Durkin now takes it across half court. Victoria Payne over to Anaya Neal, who has a wide open lane, but the ball is poked out as she's driving towards the basket. Neither of these teams have stellar offensive production, but we should be expecting an airtight defense from the Red Rams, as demonstrated there by Ava Sandroni, who puts one up off the backboard for the first 2 points of the night for Jamesville-DeWitt. The Red Rams do have one of the most supreme defenses in Section 3. And Natalie Quancy got knocked down there. Pass in off the hands of Chavusti and right to Victoria Payne on the breakaway. Finds a light at the end of the tunnel and sinks it. The Red Rams have not been known as a team to use the fast break, but that may all change here tonight. Pick set. Spartans use it to get around the horn. Feet on the line. It's good. Just a 2, though, for Jayliana Sabatino. Now Sandroni weaving through defenders. Off the mark, but Neal gets the comebacker. And that's the presence that the sophomore Anaya Neal will bring to your squad. No one else the Red Rams would rather have in the paint. However, a wide open opportunity for Quancy missed. And it went off of the Spartans, so it's a Red Ram ball there. We have a brief moment. Let's take a look at that putbacker by Neal. As the Rams on the attack now, Sandroni to Payne. Over to Neal. Neal can't get in. Out to Durkin. Spin! That was a fancy move, but no clear lane to the basket afterwards. So now the Spartans face down the Red Rams' formidable 2-3 zone. Quancy has to bounce it to Leib. Almost taken away by Neal there. Chavusti has so much trouble. Leib cornered effectively. Double teamed right now, fighting through. You could see the desperation on her face as that ball eventually goes out. And that is that Red Rams defense. It will frustrate you it will not give you a clear path to the basket. It is a greater complication than once they introduced number or letters into math. Similarly confusing. And Chavosti is called for the shot clock violation. A 30-second timeout now taken by the Red Rams. Unusual to see the team which is ahead 6-2 take the first time out of the game like that, especially after forcing a shot clock violation. Just a 30-second one, though, and you can see their new head coach, Keith Saplicki, who is already 4-1 at the helm of this Red Ram squad after taking over for Kurt Sweeney midway through the season. Saplicki, of course, literally the most qualified candidate for the job in the entirety of Section 3, former women's head coach for both the University of Vermont and Syracuse University, plus a career .518 win percentage at the NCAA Division I level. You're not going to find many high school coaches with that kind of pedigree. Pass tip, but it got to Neal anyway, no shot. And you know that the Red Rams are benefiting from sitting under that Saplicki learning tree. Pass hits Neal. Neal hits basket. 4 of the Red Rams' 8 points have come off the hands of Anaya Neal now. Quick shot up from the Spartans, nothing doing. Macy Durkin with the rebound. She averages 7.9 of those per game, which is an astronomical number. And she puts a couple of points up on the board, too, for good measure. Durkin actually has been on a bit of a slide coming into this game. In the past 3 contests, she has been 2 for 16 shooting. As that one skips off the mark for Anaya Jones, and Durkin gets the rebound. So Durkin really could use a game like this to build her confidence back up. Every athlete goes on a cold streak from time to time. It's just a matter of figuring out how you're going to snap it. But don't let that fool you. Even though Durkin has had trouble shooting, she has still been the most productive player for the Red Rams, doing pretty much everything else. More rebounds, more steals, more assists. And Anaya Neal can't make that one happen, but she has a second chance opportunity. How about a third? A fourth, perhaps? No. 3 times was not the charm for Anaya Neal. But let's take a look at her last basket anyway. Now Jones, the pass and the shot off the mark for Natalie Quancy. Rebounded by Polcaro. Now Jones over to Sabatino. Tries to hit Chavosti. And Durkin snatches it out of the air. Sandroni on the run. And ESM called for a charge, it seems, and head coach Bob Harrington not happy about that. Two shots, but not without controversy, it seems. As Anaya Neal comes onto the bench for the first time today to a round of applause. Don't forget, folks, we have a comment section here at JDTV, and feel free to share your thoughts on today's game. If we like what you say, we might even read it out on the air. First free throw off the mark for Ava Sandroni. By the way, underrated perk of being a commentator, getting to call people folks whenever you want. Forget to take advantage of that from time to time. And Sandroni, bizarrely, with 2 missed free throws in a row, she is shooting 76.2 from the stripe this season. And again, the Red Rams have been on a bit of a cold streak offensively over the past few games. Wrestled away from Chavusti by Bellisindoni, and a jump ball is forced. And they give it the Red Rams' way. Now Durkin will take it across, though a small press employed by the Spartans now. Beaten already. Bellisindoni back to Durkin. Over to Zogby. Inside. Nothing doing. Miriam Zogby out to Macy Durkin. Now Sandroni will try again. Charging in. Rolls in. Ava Sandroni, consistently the most productive offensive scorer, or scorer of any kind, I suppose, for the Red Rams, as she will try again. This time, though, passes to Zogby, who hits it. And a timeout is called by ESM. Let's see why. Right now, the Red Rams hotter than a slide on the playground in the middle of the summer. They are currently in the lead 14-2. Why don't we take a quick look at how these two teams are doing this season? Here's the big difference maker, is points per game. 41.8 for the Red Rams, 29.8 for the Spartans. Although they give up similar numbers of points relatively, Spartans do give up a few more than the Red Rams per game, though. Red Rams are shooting more two-pointers, more three-pointers, though the one thing you have to give the Spartans credit for is they know how to get to the line. And they do a good job on their free throws. However, time will tell if that's going to be enough to upset this Red Rams squad, especially considering they are currently down by 12 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. The Red Rams had a rocky start to the season, but they've really been hitting their stride with a 4-game win streak right now. 7-1 in conference. And the pass tipped by Sandroni goes out of bounds. That's a Spartan ball. Paige Butterfield gets that handed back to her from a spectator. You cannot keep the balls that go into the stands in basketball. Jones now, recipient of the pass from Quancy, sends it over to Sabatino. Tries to hit Jones. Sandroni proves to be a roadblock. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jones stonewalled, and she travels. Harrington still not happy about it, fighting for his players, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And the Spartans already employing a full court press. Sandroni took the pick, gave it to Sindoni. Sindoni off the mark to the left. Durkin tried to keep it in bounds, but can't do it 100% of the time. Now Anaya Jones, the freshman, will take it across half court for the Spartans. Butterfield tries to carve a path, instead rebounded by Sindoni. A little bit of oomph on that as well. Down the court to Zogby. No one there, puts up 2. The fast break is the friend of the Red Rams tonight. The ball out of the hands of Jones. Sindoni passes to Zogby. Oh, and it rolls off the rim. Sindoni, though, with the comebacker, doesn't work either. Durkin snatches up the rebound. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Durkin has no shot clock, so she knows to reset. Get that final shot off, they're thinking. Sindoni has a lane, goes for it, rolls off the rim. Lost momentarily. Taken up by Zogby, 5 seconds. Gives it to Durkin, blocked by Jones. Second try, too high. Brought down by Sabatino, and that is the end of the first quarter. Right now, the Red Rams running roughshod over the ESM Spartans 16-2. A difficult contest for the Spartans, to be sure. That's one way of putting it. But you have to give them credit. They are hanging in there to the best of their ability. They have not had an easy season. Like I said, 5-game losing streak right now. They only have 3 wins on the season. One of those was against Carthage, who are currently 1-10. One was against Solvay, who is Class B. And then one was a surprise victory over Central Square. However, the one thing that has been consistent all season is that every game they've won, they've scored at least 40 points. Remember, they do score an average of 29 per game, so if they can hit that 40 mark, then they're probably going to be good. Of course, that's not easy to do when you scored literally 2 in the first quarter. But of course, there is no fault in making mistakes. The fault comes when you give up. And as long as the Spartans remain persistent, they will always have a shot in this contest. That's Paige Butterfield passing in to Isabel Chavusti, taken away by Bella Sindoni. And the second quarter begins much like the first quarter consisted. Grace Hobaika. Back to Hobaika now from Durkin. Sindoni sets her feet for a 3. 2 bounce are off the mark. Hobaika now takes a 3, nothing but net. Grace Hobaika shooting equally well from 2-point and 3-point range this season. Statistically, literally the same field goal percentage. And there it is one more time. And now Hobaika will take it across as the Red Rams' second line is on. That's Paige Baker. Over to Sindoni. Sadie Withers now, the deputy! And the Red Rams' second line proving to be just as effective as the first. As a Red Rams fan, you do love to see it. The younger, less experienced players still putting on a show. Six seconds on the shot clock. And Paige Butterfield stonewalled on her way to the net, but she will go to the line. Like I said, this is the one thing that the Spartans have been consistently good at all season. Before this, though, one more time, here's Sadie Withers firing a shot directly into the basket. And the first point of the second quarter goes to Paige Butterfield. She still has one more shot. Two for 2 from the charity stripe. And now the Red Rams only lead by 18. Hobaika takes it across. Baker to Maddie McKinney, back to Sadie Withers now. McKinney. Withers has time for a 3, and it rattles in! Withers has been inconsistent this season, but when she is hot, she is hot. 2 3-pointers already tonight. Kept in bounds, but all for naught, goes right to Withers, who wisely resets that offense. Of course, the comparison's been made ever since she got to this varsity squad. Sadie Withers' older brother, John Marshall Withers, the sheriff as he's affectionately known, last year, one of the best three-point shooters in all of Section 3, and there has to be a lot weighing on her shoulders to live up to that kind of hype. But of course, Withers only a freshman, as she gets that steal. So she's got plenty of time to figure it out. So the ball goes back the way of Paige Butterfield. Trying to push it up to Leah Chavusti. And the Red Rams get it back already. Now Withers over to Baker. Baker to Withers. Back to Baker. McKinney decides against it, gives it to Withers. 5 seconds off the foot. And snatched up by Isabel Chavusti, who faces no competition on her way to the basket. Obaika walks it across. Baker to Withers. Paige Baker, also a second-generation basketball player here for the Red Rams. And Anaya Jones comes in for the Spartans. She averages 10.7 points per game, but has not put up one yet tonight. On January 13th against Central Square, she put up a monstrous game, 23 points. And the Spartans are going to need a performance like that from her if they want to take this one. McKinney from the wing bounces off, taken away by Payne. Payne feet on the line. Contact, though, from the Spartans, and the Red Rams will maintain possession. Apparently, when you get an error message in Windows while you're running all this software, it is ear-splittingly loud. Okay. That sound might have just given me a concussion. Well, ESM has the ball. And Jones attempts to wrestle it away. Some very physical contact there. Jump ball is ruled. That's the kind of physicality you'll see when one team is up by 19. People get desperate. Payne to Baker, who sets for three off the mark, rebounded by Payne. Pass to Durkin. Baker, round the horn, McKinney. McKinney loses it. Spartans dive on it. It goes ESM's way. Bounce pass into Jones underneath the net, undercooked. Tries to wrestle it away. And Durkin sent down to the ground, jump ball ruled. This has been a very physical game so far. Durkin to Neal. Sets and shoots and hits it. And the freshman, sophomore, Anaya Neal with 7 points tonight. And Jones cannot get her first. Macy Durkin wisely letting that ball go out of bounds. It is 28-6. The Spartans now exchanging three players. Sandroni Payne, Durkin, Sandroni. Decides against it. Durkin drives in instead, cradling off the glass and rattles in. And Macy Durkin makes it 30-6. You know, it's Chinese New Year tomorrow, or as they actually call it in China, Spring Festival, and it's the year of the tiger this year, but right now the Red Ram's playing like it's the year of the ram. I don't even think there is a year of the ram. But they'd make one at this rate. Angelina Polcaro misses her first free throw. Makes her second, though, for her first point of the night. With the way JD is playing right now, they have earned the moniker of the year of the Ram. Victoria Payne with some great handles going into the lane, but no results out of it. Now Sandroni will charge in herself. Little floater is good for 2 points. Sandroni with 6 points already. Ariana Finkelstein there, her first action of the day. Jones underneath the basket off the side of the backboard and slides out of bounds. She's got good form for luge. Durkin to Sandroni. Payne has a moment. Off the hands of Neal. Payne gets it back, though. Finds an opening in the defense, but Jones rejects that shot. McKinney, Durkin, Sandroni on the wing. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Jones and Neal may continue to be a very interesting matchup in the paint. Sandroni takes it away, 35 seconds. McKinney sets the pick. Durkin into Neal, 2 people there. That's a 2-pointer from Payne, but it doesn't matter. She still hits it. 15 seconds left for the Spartans to get one more shot up before the end of the first half. Pass to Jones, slightly off the mark. 2 seconds. Jones, out of desperation, overshoots it, and that is the end of the half. The Red Rams are enjoying themselves out there. 34-7 against the ESM Spartans. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the start of the second half. Don't go anywhere. Sam Gelfand here for JD TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams, here as we are all set to start the second half of this game between the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams and the ESM Spartans. As Paige Butterfield gets her fourth point of the night, that's about the most action we've had all night. If you're just joining us, you didn't miss much. It's 34-7. Not many ways to sugarcoat it. You do have to, let's try some sugarcoating right now, shall we? You have to admire the tenacity of the ESM Spartans, who their energy levels have not sunk throughout this game. They have not tried any less, as Ava Sandroni really doesn't have to try at all. She's just so effortless with her 8th point of the night. But the Spartans have not been devoid of effort. They've just been devoid of points. So Nia Neal took it out, and Ava Sandroni completed that steal to Durkin now. And now the offense will go back on the attack. Maddie McKinney, the bounce pass to Payne. Sandroni now. Over to Durkin. Some sort of unspecified foul, gives it to the Spartans. So how about them Cincinnati Bengals, huh? Joe Burrow making it to the Super Bowl. Of course, he got beat by Mike White earlier this season. As Victoria Payne playing like Joe Burrow. And right now, I'm pretty sure JD is outscoring Cincinnati. Overshot there by the Spartans. You know, via the transitive property, considering the New York Jets are 2-0 against both the Rams and the Bengals in the last 2 times they played each, that means the Jets have won the Super Bowl. It's some sort of victory. Shot taken by McKinney, rolls off. Anaya Neal snatches it up in a heavy coverage underneath the basket. 3rd time's not the charm. Finally taken away by Butterfield. And Victoria Payne snatches that up. Anaya Neal on the medium fast break. And the shooting foul is drawn. Take a look at her breakaway point. Five substitutions coming on for the Red Rams. Okay, they put 4 of them in right now. One is to be saved for later. As Neal makes her first. One's just sitting there for next time. It's kind of like you ever order 6 mozzarella sticks for the table. You know you're only going to eat 5. You're going to take 1 home. But so you got something to look forward to. Anaya Neal is up to 9 points, and the Red Rams are up to 40. Pass faked by Maura Leib. And if that didn't go out, that would have been a pretty clear backcourt violation. Miriam Zogby will take it in for the Red Rams. If you have an opinion on tonight's game or on the Super Bowl, I suppose, don't forget we have a comment section here that we are continuously taking a look at. Feel free to chime in whenever you'd like as Sindoni swings it out to Hobaika. Hobaika to Withers, decides against it. Zogby, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Hobaika takes it off the base of the rim, rebounded by Butterfield. More live, Butterfield, Angelina Polcaro now. ESM ball. And there's 2 points for Isabel Chavusti. She's up to 4 now today. She averages 6. Of course, while football season is winding down, there's lots to look forward to here at JD. Durkin underneath the basket. Sindoni drives in. Lots to look forward to coming up. For instance, lacrosse season is almost upon us. Jamesville-DeWitt lacrosse defending sectional champions in both boys and girls. The girls lacrosse team was very young last season, so they're poised to be even better. First shot is made by Kat DeForest. The boys team lost some major pieces, the JD boys lacrosse team, but still looking to be perennial favorites considering that they have won 14 of the last 15 sectional championships. And of course, we'll be bringing you all of that here on JD TV, so you will not want to miss that in a month or two. Withers to Zogby, Hobaika. Sindoni, Withers. And Sindoni off the base of the rim. Kept in bounds by Miriam Zogby. Very impressive. Hobaika, too much trouble underneath the net. Draws the foul. And by the way, speaking of things to look forward to, I can't give you too many details yet, but we are talking with our, I guess you could call it sister network at the NFHS network about possibly bringing you some sectional action. May not be here on JD TV, may have to be on their platform, but you haven't seen The Last of Us yet. Blanca 1 for 2 from the stripe. And our camera person, Nick DeCaney, and I just looked at each other because someone just yawned so audibly in the bleachers we could hear it from up here. Which is not a very kind sentiment about this game, I'm going to be honest. Stifle your yawns when you're in the crowd at a sporting contest, regardless of how you feel about it. We lift each other up here. Now Angelina Polcaro will go back to the line, her second time today. Polcaro 1 for 4. And while we're just plugging stuff, do not forget that Friday is going to be a marquee matchup. The boys will take on ESM in the annual Hoops for Courage game, raising money for charity as Sindoni got that rebound. And of course, it's great if you can show up, but if not, you'll be able to follow all the action here on JD TV. Action such as the third Sadie Withers three-pointer of the night. The sheriff's deputy coming out guns blazing. Pass well over the hands of Jayliana Sabatino. So we here on JD TV will be bringing you that Hoops for Courage game. It is always one of the highlights of the boys basketball season every single year. The last time we held it back in 2020, the Spartans had a come-from-behind buzzer-beater two-point victory. Made all the headlines. And I do mean that literally. I'm pretty sure it's front page of Syracuse.com. Maybe we should just keep plugging random things. That's what we should do for the rest of this basketball contest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us at GoRedRams on Twitter, where we have announcements of various games we'll be covering, as well as some fun facts from time to time. And Hobeika stutter-stepped. And that makes the play a little bit too aggressive for the referee's liking. (45-11) with a minute and a half remaining left in this contest. Three-pointer is just off the mark. Attempted there by Isabel Chavusti. And at this point, I think the Spartans' game plan shifts to away from can we win this game into can we avoid being held to under 20. They have been held to under 20 twice this season. Sindoni misses that three. The first time was December 14th against Fayetteville Manlius. The second time was January 4th against Fulton. And there's 2 points for Jayliana Sabatino. Now, to the Spartans' credit, they did score 7 points in the first half, and they've scored 6 here in the third quarter. So that is progress. The shot clock and the game clock are just about aligned, so the Red Rams going to hold it, the game clock about 1 second off. Red Rams playing monkey in the middle for as long as possible, until Grace Hobeika slips. Dangerous conditions out there, it seems. About 5 seconds left, goes out of bounds. There's a extension cord in the shot. I'll grab that out of the way, Nick. I'll hold the camera. He doesn't even need my help. How about that? What a true professional, ladies and gentlemen. Nick DeCaney. 1 second, and Hobeika will hold on to it. That is the end of quarter number 3 here, as the Red Rams lead 45-13. That's, what, almost over 30 points? I'm bad at math. 15, 30, 45, 32. And that tells you just about everything you need to know about tonight's contest. Have you ever wanted JDTV to have a podcast? If you do, let us know what you'd want it to be about, because we're pretty much at this point where we're ready to start talking about it. It's a good time to start one if there ever was one. Well, we can start to set it up for each other. Why don't we take a look at what day it is? Today is National Hot Chocolate Day, which if they don't sell it at the concession stand, they probably should. Especially how frosty it's been up here, multiple days underneath 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It's also National Backwards Day, a day dedicated to doing things backwards. And to be honest, from the look of it, you'd think that ESM was trying to score negative points. And it's also National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day, which is certainly something to be appreciated. Gotta love some good bubble wrap. Oh, and it rolls off the rim for Paige Baker. She almost had that. Some hot chocolate would be pretty good right about now. You ever had white hot chocolate? White hot chocolate, very good as well. Now, personally, I subscribe to the school of thought with hot chocolate as pioneered by the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. You fill the cup with marshmallows first, and then you let the hot chocolate fill in the cracks. Because really, we're all in it for the marshmallows. But eating marshmallows on their own just doesn't work. It's not the same. And a couple of points up on the board for Cat DeForest. Now, why is that marshmallows just don't taste right unless there's at least a little bit of hot chocolate? 5 seconds. Overshot in desperation, twice actually. Rebounded by Miriam Zogby. What are marshmallows even made of anyway? I don't know. If anyone knows, please let us know in the comments. What is marshmallow whip? And Hobaika hits a two-pointer. Feet on the line. But hey, she's got 6 points. 49-13. Now all I can think about is marshmallows. And you know, it's a weird thing because marshmallows are like clearly made out of something else, as there's a desperation shot to reset the clock. Marshmallows are clearly made of something else, yet they don't taste like anything else. There's like no vanilla in them. 2 shots, though, coming. While we've got this moment, looks like we're going to look it up. The crack JDTV research team hard at work. As Ariana Finkelstein will take 2 shots. Misses her first. According to the first Google result we found, a typical marshmallow contains sugar, corn syrup, and gelatin, plus some air. That's it. Thank you, University of Madison, Wisconsin, for bringing us those results off of Google. Gotta cite your sources. So yeah, it's pretty much just straight sugar. Then again, that's all hot chocolate is, anyway. It's sugar that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And speaking of warm and fuzzy, you have to imagine that's how the Red Rams are feeling right now. There aren't many other ways to feel with a lead like this. Great save by Baker, except it lets the Spartans go off to the races. And Angelina Polcaro is up to 3 points now. You know, in a way, this is shades of the Red Rams of old. The teams which we would have seen 2016, 17, 18, who would regularly put up scores like this against all of their opponents. Back with players like Gabby Stickle, Jamie Boeheim as well. Javosti off the mark. Of course, that was back during the days of head coach Rob Seichin, who is currently the coach at CNS. Which kind of surprises me that you would think that with our scheduling, usually if we play a Class AA team each season, it's typically FM. You would think that we should play CNS for annual one Class AA opponent. Great save by Sadie Withers. Although, to be fair, considering Coach Seichin's reputation and know-how, I think there may be a good reason why we don't play CNS. He knows how to run a program. Rebounded there by DeForest. 3:15 remaining in this contest, and I feel comfortable saying that because really, what are the chances this goes to overtime? As Hobaika puts up 2. The chances of this going to overtime are slim to none, and Slim got outscored by 30 points in the first half. However, 2 very competent points from Rylan Comiso. Comiso actually did not play prior to that game against Central Square on the 13th. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that Sadie Withers is up to 12 points off of 4 3-pointers? Sadie Withers coming equipped with lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels tonight. Two minutes remaining. And how about a 3 for Paige Baker? And the crowd eats it up. You love to see it. 57-18. Well, you don't love to see it if you're a Spartans fan. Shavusti tries from very long distance. Airmailed with first-class postage underneath the basket. Doesn't work either. This is the 981st game in the history of the JD girls basketball program. Comiso misses her first in that time. The Red Rams have gone 672 and 308. That's a 687 win percentage over all those decades. Hey, 19 now, as Comiso ties a career high of 3 points. So the Spartans may not be held to under 20 points after all. They're right on the cusp. Baker almost put up another, rebounded by Zogby. Really has been a team effort tonight for the Red Rams. The only players who haven't scored are Bella Sindoni, Gabby Schnorr, and Maddie McKinney. 3 out of your 13-person roster have scored. Or haven't scored. That's a pretty good night in the office. 15 seconds on the shot clock, so the Red Rams simply trying to wind this one out for as long as possible. Four seconds. Zogby tried to shoot it from the line, but well, there seems to be some confusion. Yes, that was a shot clock violation, they say. 29 seconds remain. So this will likely end up being ESM's final shot of the game. Ten seconds, and they may not be held to under 20. 8 seconds to hit 21. And suddenly there's some stakes in this game for the first time in quite a bit. Three-pointer attempted, and it's wide right. 4 seconds. 4.4 to be exact. Stop the clock at 0.3. I don't think anyone's going to correct them. Crowd waiting with bated breath. And that's all she wrote. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams take one in convincing fashion. I'm not sure if there could be more convincing fashion than this. 57-19. They defeat the East Syracuse-Minoa Spartans, who still have not beaten JD ever. 23-0 now against the Spartans, at least going back to 2008, which is the oldest our records go back. So not historically unprecedented, but the Red Rams will certainly relish it. Thank you for joining us throughout this entire contest. We appreciate your patronage here on JDTV. My name is Sam Gelfand, the voice of the Red Rams. On behalf of my usual broadcast partner, tonight camera person Nick DeCaney, and all of us here at JDTV, have a very good night wherever you may be.
I think I would have rather watched like a historical documentary.
Hey, I like a good historical documentary.
I take that back. Some of those are really cool. I'm trying to think of what's like extremely boring.
Paint dry, grass grow.
What is that?
Watching paint dry, watching grass grow, watching paint someone paint grass.
That might have had more